So you got it now, Michael? No? Got rid of his picture? Anyways, he's getting what the two wicks represent are the light, the first uh, wick, and that represents spirit, God, greater, all that is. And then he'll light the second wick, and that represents us as individuals. And when we gather together and our in our divine self that's already there merges not only with the divine but with each other, and we shine a greater light. Did you do it? All right. I didn't even I told it set it for you since you were a little late on the bet. Okay, so John, you want? Oh no, yes, John, you want to do the opening song?
All right, here we go. Loving now. Oh, you got to turn on the music deal here. Just a second. I'm going to have to stop to share to do it. There we go. Sorry. All right. Loving yesterday, loving tomorrow, loving today, loving now, loving awareness, kindness and happiness, peace and goodness, loving now. Loving music, loving singing, loving harmony, loving now, loving awareness, kindness and happiness, peace and goodness, loving now. Loving forgiveness, loving gratefulness, loving creativity, loving as we could, growing in wisdom, being kinder, living better, loving what is good. Loving nature, loving beauty, loving each other, loving now, loving awareness, kindness and happiness, peace and goodness, loving now, loving now.
Thank you, John. And so what for today, our speaker is going to be Michael. He's going to be talking about realization, which is the third step of spiritual mind treatment. Caroline is going to be doing the meditation for us. Tim will be doing music for as well. And then next week it will be John talking about Thanksgiving, the fourth step. And then the fifth Sunday of March, we're going to talk about release. So Michael will lead it, but there'll also be a discussion type thing on release. Then on the first Sunday in March or April, Deb will be speaking, and she'll be talking about something with the Course in Miracles. And then we've got we'll be the first this Palm Sunday. I was trying to think the name of it. Michael will be doing that. He'll be the speaker. Then Tim will be our speaker on Easter Sunday, which will be awesome. And then John will do the fourth Sunday in April. So Carol Ann and I get a little break. So all right. Okay, so Tim, if you would like to lead us into meditation. Oh no, wait a minute. Don't do that yet. Michael, do the 365. Then Tim can lead us into meditation and Carol Ann can actually do the meditation. Okay.
I'm amazed at how 365 corresponds with our talk today. This is from Science of Mind 365, and it's affirmation and denial. By far, the largest part of our thinking processes are automatic, casting images of their acceptance into the universal mind that reacts upon them. Thus, it is that fear can bring about a condition of failure, while faith can reverse it. In spiritual mind treatment, affirmation and denial are for the purpose of erasing the wrong thought patterns and establishing correct ones. This pattern and this practice is both scientific and effective in that a denial tends to erase the negative conviction, while an opposing and opposite affirmation tends to establish a new thought pattern that works automatically as the negative one did. The whole theory of affirmation and denial in spiritual mind treatment is built upon an understanding that the mind principle accepts the inward meaning and feeling of the words that our conscious mind utters. The mind principle is like a mirror. Therefore, the argument must bring out an evidence that causes our whole inner being to accept the affirmation that we make, whether it be a declaration of supply, health, happiness, or success. If we practice this method and watch the results of this simple process, we will discover that an argument logically presented to this mind principle will produce a definite result. So know with me, today I affirm the all good. And in this affirmation, I accept the presence of love and repudiate any belief that has any power of hate. I affirm peace and deny confusion. I affirm joy and declare that sadness has no place in my consciousness. I affirm that God is over all, in all, and through all. There is nothing in my past that can limit me or limit my future. There's only that one life. That life is God, and that life is the only life that there is. And that life is my life now. And from Isaiah 55, so shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth, it shall not return unto me void. From Science of Mind 365.
All right. Thank you, Tim. Or thank you, Michael. Tim will take over now. Thank you.
I am so blessed I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I am. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
As we gently breathe in the words, I'm so blessed. Just close our eyes and feel those words as we move deeper within into that place of love and peace, knowing that I am spirit. I am spirit in expression. This is who I am. We very gently smile with the thought, knowing that within that innermost being, there is all the love, all the blessings, all the peacefulness, no matter what the outside exterior is showing. We move deep into our heart just for a little while. Feel that love and that peace surround and enfold us, knowing that there is a power, there is a presence, there is a life force in the universe guiding and directing us. And that spirit dwells within us. Allow ourselves to sink a little bit deeper into that feeling of love and warmth, that freedom from our mind, from the outside world. Knowing that I am spirit, I am life, and I am that life right now. Just allowing that beautiful sense of warmth to just surround and enfold us. Might even bring a slight smile to our face. And we give thanks. We give thanks for this day. We give thanks for this time of sharing, this time of togetherness. Knowing that the thing that looks out from behind our eyes, that thing itself, is the same thing that looks out behind each other's eyes. And when we look into each other's eyes, we can smile, and it's like we're breathing ourselves. Spirit, breathing spirit. And every smile, every look of realization brings us into a deeper sense of knowing, a deeper sense of peace and joy. So we take that sense of deep peace, joy, and we hold it in our heart as we gently come back and open our eyes. Open our eyes and smile. Just take a moment to look into the eyes of each person that is on our call. That beautiful smile of recognition of who we really are. We are God, always expressing. And so it is.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I am. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
Thank you, everyone, so much. Thank you, Elaine. And I'm going to let Michael take over so he can talk about realization for us. So here you go, Michael.
Okay, good morning, everyone. How are you? So we've come to our third week of our study on spiritual mind treatment and to this third step called realization. Let's understand that Ernest Holmes only taught 3 steps. The reason that there are 5 is because of an education director of the Institute of Religious Science, Orrin Moen, who went ahead and added on the Thanksgiving and release step because he saw that it's easier to teach beginning students spiritual mind treatment when using that. And that I don't want us to get all caught up in that there has to be 5 steps. Again, some traditions, the agape tradition, Michael Bernard Beckwith, they use 6. There's some other traditions that use 8 or 12. It doesn't matter. It's the whole idea that, again, that point of realization, and that's what we're going to talk about today. But before we start, let's go over our first 2 steps of treatment. So the first one is recognition. So we consciously recognize that there's only one, There's one life, one presence, one power that flows through everyone and everything without being used up in its creation. Panentheistic, not pantheistic, but panentheistic. So this one life is omnipresent, it's everywhere present, omnipotent, all powerful everywhere, omniscient, all knowing, and omniactive, everywhere active. So there is nothing but God. And that's quoting R.A. Ralston, who was a famous British metaphysician. So everything is one with everything else. So knowing, and again, feeling that, and that's a real important part of treatment that Carol Ann has kind of emphasized to me over the years. It's feeling this. It's going beyond this mind and just feeling that recognition. So knowing that everything and everyone is interconnected with each other, it's not a big stretch to move into the second step of unification, or consciously knowing our oneness with the one. And again, feeling that. Each one of us is a creative center or point of God consciousness. So in the words of Jesus, my Father and I are one. So in this treatment step, we're encouraged here to step into the one light and come out of the darkness of separation. That's the only belief that we're healing here, is that we are separate from the one. So let us step into the light and be illumined. And so, like Jesus and the other illumined masters, because of our oneness and our creative nature, we can speak our word. In the beginning was the word, from the Gospel of John. Or let there be. And because, again, that there's a creative process as illustrated in the religious science teaching symbols, since most of you are familiar with it, it's that V symbol split up into 3. So remember that we can speak our word with power and authority into that great impersonal law of life, 0-point field, the quantum field, whatever that you want to call it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't care either. But we speak our word knowing with belief that it is so in our lives. So I encourage all of us here, like again, the great mystics, to be mystics. And that is to know and recognize our own Christhood and also oneness like Jesus and all the great masters have. So that brings us to our third step of treatment, which is realization. So from a great book, which I hope that you all have copies of, it's Dr. John Waterhouse's book, The 5 Steps to Freedom, which is a great book on spiritual mind treatment. So he also calls this step declaration and affirmation. From the book, he says, Ernest Holmes describes declaration as voicing in thought something that we desire in some aspect of our lives. By declaring that some condition or outcome exists, we establish it in mind of spirit and then allow the creative process to manifest our declaration into physical form. That's the words of Dr. John Waterhouse. So again, remember again in our teaching symbol, split into 3s, that top part, the thinker, thinking the thought into the law, that middle portion, and then outcoming the thing, manifesting in 3-dimensional form. So the other term for the step is affirmation, or making firm the idea from the unmanifest to the manifest world. In other words, doing affirmations, we affirm that the condition or desire already exists and that we have influence in that manifestation. So we claim here with clarity and conviction, and the universal law will make it so. And again, it is done unto us as we believe or we don't believe. Again, when we don't believe, again, it's still a manifestation of that one great law of life. So it makes sense to learn how to manifest consciously. So what is the purpose of the third step? From Dr. Waterhouse's book, he writes, he says, if you're seeking to resolve a health issue, your step 3 may be to know that excellent, vibrant health, that the natural state of being for all things is your natural state. If you're seeking to heal a relationship, your step 3 may be to know that joy and peace and understanding are the natural states of being in every relationship, including yours. If you're seeking to resolve a financial issue, your step 3 may be to know that you live in an abundant and prosperous world and that you do have plenty of money to do whatever you desire is the truth about you. And if you have any particular object or condition in your life, your step 3 could be to know that life always supports you and that your claim for whatever you desire is yours. So in this step here, we as practitioners, licensed or not, you're all practitioners of the science of mind, you consciously know that the spirit of truth is greater than any condition that we are experiencing. In this step, we move from the physical world into the world of causation. We are encouraged here to see beyond the appearance or the facts in the moment to see and to know the truth. So what is clouding the perfection of you is the erroneous thought of dis-ease, hyphenated, dis-ease. And as we say almost every Sunday here, change the thinking. The consciousness, and then again, that changes the condition then. Folks, listen, I know the facts, okay? I know the fact is that you may have more month than money. I get that. And I know that the doctors have told you some news that you don't like. And I know that the conditions are happening that are currently having you in a state of distress. I get that. And again, those are the facts. Those are what is happening in the world of form or 3D dimension. However, the truth, capital T, is that you are divine and that prosperity, good health, and successful living is your birthright. And that truth, again with a capital T, is greater than any fact. And the truth, capital T, is usually the 180 degrees in the opposite direction of what you're experiencing now. The facts change, but the truth doesn't. And the truth, capital T, is always, always, always more powerful than the facts. The facts themselves will change when you put a new cause in motion, claiming your divinity through the creative process, and then keep your mind changed. So we come to a point of realization through a series of affirmations and denials that convince ourselves of the truth of our being. There's two types of treatment, using either the argumentative or the realization method. And I'll explain the realization method before I do the other. So the realization method is you just know. You just know that you know that you know that you know. And again, some people, through experience, they know that they know that they know that they know. In the argumentative method, again, that you are the lawyer explaining to the courtroom of you why your client, you or who you're praying for, is whole, perfect, and complete. And I want to make this clear here. In the use of denials, we're not denying or ignoring the issue that we're doing treatment over. So in my 30 plus years of studying the science of mind and spirit, I have noticed in some people this state of metaphysical denial that goes ahead and denies that there is even a problem. Okay. I agree that not focusing on issues as a first step sometimes makes it go away because of lack of attention. However, as they say in the 12-step program, denial is not a river in Egypt. The denials in treatment are to bring forth the natural state of being that would be there if there wasn't the distortion of thought and consciousness. Again, when I say that there is no dis-ease, I'm talking about the spiritual part of you, that there is only health. Again, I am convincing myself of your perfection. So when confronted with a false condition, my opinion is that you just admit that it's there. Again, that what we resist persists, as the Buddhists have taught us. And again, just to go ahead and say, well, it's here, and to know that you can change it. The facts again change, but the truth doesn't. So by changing the cause, which is the distorted thinking, the outer will change. And again, as Louise Hay says, it's only a thought, and a thought can change. And that's, again, what we do in the realization step. We convert everything into thought. Again, thought is a much finer energy than form. It's this really light energy. So when you go ahead and you change the thought, again, as so within, so without, what happens is, again, that the outer changes. So in the realization step, we realize that truth about us, which is that we were made in the image and likeness of our Creator. We are revealing, as Ernest Holmes says, perfect God, perfect man, and perfect being. Again, this is a different kind of prayer in which we are instructed again to see beyond the physical appearance to see the spiritual perfection of others in us. So, a helpful hint here is to speak from the standpoint of an individual's spiritual perfection after the unification step. So, Ernest Holmes again wrote that we take our eyes off the condition and we see the spiritual perfection instead. We take our eyes off of what is happening, the world of effects, and we put it on the world of cause. So Dr. Johnny Reed, my practitioner instructor, told me that we don't heal bodies during spiritual mind treatment, but we heal consciousness, which will heal bodies most of the time. And sometimes the decision is made on a soul level to leave the physical body. However, until that happens, Holmes encourages us to pray for healing by seeing and knowing the spiritual perfection of ourselves and whoever that we pray for. So, what should you affirm and know during the realization step? There are no magic formulas. I wish I could give it to you, but again, I'll give you some hints here. Now, even Ernest did not write out treatments for people to use. Instead, he gave textbook examples and gave hints to his clients on how to pray for themselves. And Holmes did not treat out loud for a client when they were present. I find that very interesting. Generally, what is treated for are the general qualities of God that are opposite to the condition. Again, using the 7 qualities of God from Thomas Troward: love, life, light, peace, power, beauty, joy, and I add a couple, which is wisdom, and also creativity and abundance. Again, we're changing consciousness and not conditions. The conditions will change when the consciousness changes. So within myself, I convince myself of the perfection of my client. So if any mental noise comes up, like this is impossible to heal, or this has happened for a long time, or any of that mental noise that comes up, what happens is, for me, is I deal with it directly by saying doubt, get out, or any such truth statements. Change the thought within you until you come to a place of peace, or something within you says that's enough for today. I also treat specifically for the beliefs causing the conditions. And now some people, again, my mentor called it the cookbook method, and he was very much against it. But sometimes during a private session, I will look up the dis-ease in Louise Hay's book, You Can Heal Your Life, or read from chapters 14 and 15 in the Science of Mind text on physical perfection and ask the individual whether it rings true for them. For example, the back represents support, or the legs represent the ability to stand. And I'll ask my clients whether they feel supported in their lives, or that they feel that they're able to stand up for themselves. I will also include the healing belief in the treatment by saying that the spiritual truth is that they are supported in all their lives. And also reading other Science of Mind treatments are also helpful. So some of the affirmations that I use, and I'm going to put this in the chat after I'm done here. Some of the affirmations I use to start out with is I am, I have, or I say the truth about myself. If I'm treating for myself, from the practitioner training course, we're taught to say, I know, I accept, I claim, or I declare. If you really want to show some holy boldness, you can say, I command, or I prophesy for myself or others. So usually, again, when I start making affirmative statements like that, the noise comes up. And again, instead of ignoring the noise, what I do is, again, is understand that all the noise is all the doubts and all the fears and all the false beliefs, again, causing the current condition. So my formula here is to erase the belief causing the condition early in my realization step. Knowing the truth, using then affirmations to then deal with the noise by saying to the doubts and fears, get out, who is your father? Again, using a series of affirmations and denials. I then end up the realization by saying statements of truth until I can believe and also mentally accept the truth about what I am treating about. And again, for me, it's a state of peace or the inner voice that says, for right now, that's enough. John Waterhouse, who was our former president of United Centers for Spiritual Living and also CSL, and who is now the lead pastor down at the Fort Lauderdale Center for Spiritual Living, suggests that there should be 4 P's present in your realization step. And again, I'll put this in the chat here a little bit later. The first P is that your realization needs to be personal, using terms like I, me, myself. So in treating for others, you can use terms like they are or I know, accept, claim, and declare for them the truth about their being. There is no hypnosis by saying you. And again, we don't give direct suggestions in treatment. It always reminds me of all the bad horror films of the hypnotist looking to the eyes of the beautiful woman and saying, you will. Remember those? Now, there are some advanced forms of treatment that do use the second person. However, we won't get into that today. Or how about this as a suggestion? Be your own client. One of the common complaints, as I would say, is that individuals say, well, I can treat well for other people, but for me, not so well. Okay, try this here instead. Be your own client by treating yourself like you would a client. So, for example, I know the truth about Michael and that he is whole, perfect, and complete. And again, I got that from Ernest Holmes' earlier writings. See the book Love and Law for more information about that. So the first P is personal. The second P is make sure that your affirmation is in the present tense, happening now, right now. So spirit always operates in the here and now, regardless of our ability to see instantaneous results. So remember, as Seth said through and channeled through Jane Roberts, the point of power is always in the present moment. The point of power is always in the present moment. Okay, so personal, present tense, and the third P is to make your realization positive by focusing on what you want instead of what you don't want. When you focus on what you don't want, it's like your tires spinning in the mud or the snow or the ice. You're just keeping, you see, the mind, the brain sometimes thinks, okay, if I keep thinking about the problem, I'll think my way out of it. And the opposite is true. So again, you have to see yourself out of the mud. Or if you can't see yourself out of the mud, get a practitioner with their Cosmic AAA card and their Cosmic AAA tow truck to come up and again to know the truth for you. So the fourth P is that we need to be precise on what qualities of God that we want revealed in the situation and how it's to be done. Again, you've heard me say before that how is none of your business. It's God's business. So once again, make your realizations personal, make them present, make them positive, and make them precise. And again, that I love my practitioner and minister colleagues. The one thing, though, that I sometimes wonder is that they seem to get lost in the realization step, is that they're not precise about what they're doing. Again, not saying how it's to be done, but saying what they want instead of what they don't want. So I will put these in the chat, but again, so here's some key ideas. Our key affirmations are I am, or they are perfect, whole, complete, and healthy. I dissolve, and I like that word. I dissolve in my own mind the false belief causing the condition and know the truth about myself or others. I dissolve it. It's not true. I shake my head a lot when I do treatment. Yes and no. There's only one life, and that life is God's life. That life is perfect, and that life is my life now. And from Ernest Holmes, perfect God, perfect man, and perfect being. So again, either use the argumentative or realization style to get the results. Holmes did use both. Remember the 4 P's, which are personal, present, positive, and precise. Treat with the intent of only doing it once, and be willing, though, to treat until it happens. There's only one realization step, and understand that if it does not show up, then again, treat again. Again, it may take one day or several days or weeks, or hopefully not more than a month. But again, just keep treating daily 2 or 3 times until the manifestation happens. Again, from the Bible, again, that we hear the words from Matthew that says, ask and it shall be given, seek and you shall find, knock and the door shall be open. Well, from the newer translations, again, that they found that verb tense in the Greek is plural. So it's keep on asking, keep on seeking, keep on finding. And again, we see from the teachings of Jesus also the whole idea of the widow going to the judge. And again, the judge being corrupt went ahead, and again, this widow was persistent. And again, he finally just says, listen, enough's enough. I'll just give you what you want. But we do this in our own minds. There's no judge out there. Again, this is all within us. Follow every denial statement with an affirmation. And again, feel it. This is about feeling. This is not just about saying the words, but this is feeling and knowing. Feeling, use the words to produce the feeling that you already have it. All right. So I'm going to leave you with the words of Ernest Holmes. This is from the General Summary, which is page 408 and 409. He wrote that in spiritual healing, the practitioner deals with thought alone. He is not dealing with a sick body or a sick man. There's no one to be healed in truth, and we must think in the truth if we expect to heal. There is no material body to be healed and no material man to suffer pain and anguish. Disease is neither person, place, nor thing to the one who wishes to heal. The practitioner, you or I, must try to become conscious of perfection alone and nothing else. In whose mind is he to become conscious of perfection? In the only person's mind he can ever be conscious of thinking anything, and that is in their own mind. The first person to be healed is the practitioner. Here in their own mind, they meet the belief in the necessity of sickness or discord. They repudiate the belief and then goes on to explain to themselves what the real truth is. They are conscious, as their explanation goes on, that he is meeting and neutralizing the false claims held to be true about the patient. Knowing that they are false, he resolves them into thought and then heals the thought. The whole process is one of thought and realization and could not be anything else. Namaste. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. That was very, very good. Um, I always remember that. Whenever I remember Brian Graham specifically, he would always say, "Thank you for letting me." When I would have him pray for me and do treatment for me, he would say, "Thank you, I needed that," because the practitioner, when they're praying for someone else, it's really about them, anyways. Whoever it may be, it's really about them. So it may not be specific. You got to remember that whether it's you or yourself you're praying for or someone else, ultimately it's about you. And it's about your thinking, your changing whatever the thought is that is not in alignment with what you want it to be. So when you declare, claim, accept, believe, command, whatever it is you want, it's real important to realize that it's accepting into you, and that it is you are the one changing the thoughts. And then once the thought is changed, it is taken care of to wherever it may be. So anyways, thank you, Michael. That was very good. Anyone else who may have any comments?
Yeah, I really enjoyed that, Michael. You brought up a lot of good points. I think when we listen to it not as a practitioner but as a layperson, and I really think all lay people are practitioners, they just don't know it. But when we listen to it, and the comment I get, well, yes, but it's easy for you. Well, it gets easy because I'm doing treatment work on myself all the time. And I think that's, and I have just decided I must be that I am the most needy person in the world, because I'm always saying, okay, let's stop, do a little bit of treatment here and get back into a place of knowingness. But it's through the practice that you become good as a practitioner. It is, and it is so life enhancing, and you don't have to have the certificate, because it is something that we all can do, and we can do it very easily. And so what if you get a little bit mixed up? So what if you have to look at a note to say, gee, did I do this? Did I do this? The fact that you are attempting to do it, it is like spirit just kind of lifts you up and takes you along in the process. So if you've never tried to do it, it's only 4 steps. Take some time to do it. You will be amazed at the results. And of course, the secret is, having that sense of peace with each step as you move along. So I enjoyed the review, and I really like the 4 tools. I think that they are critical to getting good results.
Thank you, Carolyn. Anybody else?
Yeah, it was very well organized to get the clarity we need, and it sticks in my mind that a lot of the issues are forces of habit, where you form ruts of thinking and, are steeped in, deception or, self-deception. So clearing those ruts and old ways of thinking is why we need to be persistent about it, root out those weeds of our thought.
Well, thank you,
Very,
John.
very good.
I'm going to turn this over to Tim then. Right.
Yeah, one more thing here. The hints are in the chat. So if you would like to, the The affirmations and some of the hints are in the chat. So if you'd like to copy them and then paste them onto another document, please feel free to do
It
so.
won't there yet, honey. I don't know what you're doing.
They are there
They're
in
not.
the chat.
Into the chat. They're not there.
No, not there.
You'll try it again. All right. So, anyways, in the meantime, Tim can do a song, or if he has any comments, he can do that. But then he can do a song.
Okay. Only comment is, well, I want to make sure it's all right with you all. This is a old Celtic song in honor of the day tomorrow. Is that all right?
Yeah.
Actually, it's a Scottish song, but many Celtic artists have taken to it. And it's very metaphysical in its own way. Oh, summertime is coming, and the trees are sweetly blooming, and the wild mountain thyme grows around the purple heather. Will you go, lassie, go? I will build my love a bower by yon crystal flowing fountain, and on it I will pile all the flowers of the mountain. Will you go, lassie, go? And we'll all go together to pluck wild mountain thyme all around the purple heather. Will you go, lassie, go? And if my true love will not go, I will surely find another where the wild mountain thyme grows around the purple heather. Will you go, lassie, go? And we'll all go together to pluck wild mountain thyme all around the purple heather. Will you go, lassie, go? I will build my love a shelter on yon high mountain green, and my love will be the fairest that the summer sun has seen. Will you go, lassie, go? And we'll all go together to pluck wild mountain thyme all around the purple heather. Will you go, lassie, go? Lassie, will you go?
Thank you so much, Tim. Beautiful. Again, I am so grateful for both of our musicians, for Tim and for Jonathan. It's just, you're just blessed, completely blessed. So with that, it is that time in our service where we have the opportunity to give. Excuse me. what we want to do is there are several ways you can give. You can go by going online. You can either go to Zelle or you can go to PayPal, and then you would go to sscofakron@gmail.com, sscofakron@gmail.com, and you can give that way. Or you can send a check with the word summit on it to 1199 Lexington Avenue, Akron, Ohio, 44310. And we will also do it that way. So as we take our gifts symbolically in our hands, right top over left, and just know that all that we have, all that we give, all that we receive is blessed in a gracious and awesome manner. And we just give thanks for all the good that is happening for each and every individual. And so it is. And so I let it be. Amen. All right, John, how about some good and more good? You need to unmute, John.
Good idea. Good and more good is mine, and ever increasing good is mine. Unlimited, infinite good is mine. Wherever I go, I see good. Whatever I do, I feel oh so good. I'm worthy and entitled to good and more good. Good crowds itself upon us, wraps itself around us. We give ourselves permission to accept more good, express more good. Good and more good is ours, and ever increasing good is ours. Thank you, Spirit, and so it is.
All right, thank you, thank you, thank you. So announcements.
Well, I would say that again, ntmedia.org, ntmedia.org. That's where I spend most of my week. And if you want to find out about what happened at the annual business meeting that happened this week online, stay on the call afterwards. We'll talk about that. And so, yeah, lots of good stuff happening.
Mine is yeswise.com, where I post my YesWise Inspiry and other news and items, including my seminars, and then holistic natural health wellness seminar is valuable for everybody. So check that out at yeswise.com.
Carol, Ann, or Jen, do either one of you have any announcements? No? Okay. All right. Well, with that, it's time for us to do our moment of silence. And I'm going to ring us in, and I will also ring us out. And this is the time where you can bring into your hearts and minds anybody who may need some healing, whether it's yourself, family member, co-worker, whether it's for the planet, for the country, for Donald Trump. Just let's take a moment and recognize that. So the healing is happening right now. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.
We are the people of love. We are the people of love. Sing out, people, sing out love. We are the people of love. We are the people of peace. We are the people of peace. Sing out, people, sing out peace. We are the people of peace. We are the people of joy. We are the people of joy. Sing out, people, sing out joy. We are the people of joy. We are the people of love. We are the people of love. Sing out, people, sing out love. We are the people of love. We are the people of love.
All right, thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, so that ends our service for today, and we hope to see everybody next week when John will be speaking. And everybody have a wonderful St. Patty's Day. Don't drink too much. Don't get too crazy. I'm doing corned beef and cabbage today, which will also last till tomorrow. But anyways, thank you, Hannah. You can end our Facebook feed.